But there was somebody else in that room when she said it, which is why you always have that third person with you, right? And she said this to many people, from what I understand, according in these motions.
Man.
And if they were to remove him from this case, this would prevent any lawyer from ever interviewing a witness before trial.
Right.
Which makes no sense.
Right.
So I don't think that that's going to hold up, but I'm sure it probably rattled everybody for a hot minute.
I don't think it's going to hold up either. Mark Tinsley, to me, I'm like, Mark Tinsley is doing such a badass job that they will do.
We're fangirls.
They're trying to,
they're
trying to get him out.
to get him out of the way.
Yeah.
And because that fact of who turned over the photos is not relevant really to the grand scheme of the trial.
Yeah.
It's just like a tactic to try to get him kicked out. So if I were Mark Tinsley, I would be, one, annoyed that I have to deal with this, but two, is take it as a compliment because you're out there.
You're so good. They're trying to they're using anything and everything.
They think that you're the problem.
Yeah.
Now, is that legal that those pictures were shown and everything during when the case isn't even settled yet?
I don't know if there was a confidentiality order in place. I mean, I just don't know. You know what I mean?
I think it would be offensive to her family.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I think at the very least, it's unethical and in bad taste and immoral. And this is the kind of stuff that we see from defense attorneys, and by defense I mean insurance companies, right?
Yeah.
People representing entities, big business, big corporations. This is the kind of stuff, this is on level of like Michael Clayton stuff, right? The kind of stuff you see from like big motor companies or big industry, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And so it's just really hard to stomach when you have a young woman who's dead, her family in little South Carolina, and they're pulling those kind of tactics. But we see it all the time.
Yeah.
And it's really...
We do see it all the time, and I, for one, just like I can't wrap my mind around how they didn't know about the trust account, cannot wrap my mind around why Parker's will not pay Mallory Beach's family a ton of money.
Because this is not good for Parker.
Why do they want to be wrapped up in Alec Murdaugh and the Murdaugh murder saga? Why don't they just want to...
Well, can I tell you what
be done with it?
My theory is...
They already blew a Tiger River demand.
I don't think they have it. I think they're self-insured.
Okay.
I think they're self-insured, and they're gonna whatever check they're gonna write. But I can tell you this: we've also had these texts before. Like I'll be down. We have a Goose Creek office, and I'll have to stop and use the bathroom and get gas or something. And Parker's has the cleanest bathrooms you've ever seen. And as a girl, the stuff matters. And it's the cleanest bathrooms, the cleanest stores. They're very nice. They're so nice, and they have a barbecue sandwich that is unbelievable. Yeah. But I will not go to Parker's anymore because of what they've done. And I think that this is only hurting them in the long run.
I think it is.
Well,
just, look at them the same. The way they're treating a victim. I mean, it's very clear that you used a fake ID at their store.
Yeah.
I don't know what they're
You
fighting.
want to be mean to Alec Murdaugh? Go for it. We fully support that. But to sit there and blame and shame the family of a young woman who's died, who did nothing wrong, that's insane.
Yeah, and just to drag the Beach family through this is just...
It's unconscionable and unforgivable.
Imagine why.
And I don't know a lot of things in this world, but let me tell you what I do know. I know people, and a jury will never forgive Parker's for that.
No.
So when the verdict comes, it will be big, and they will not even see it coming. And it will knock the wind out of their sails. It reminds me of the Alex Jones verdict that just came out on the second case.
Yep.
And they gave $1 billion verdict. Before it was what? 200 and some million? Or 30, whatever it was. It was like a tiny compared to
drop in the bucket compared to this
$1 billion verdict. This is what they're going to see. They're going to see this will bankrupt them, $1 billion verdict, that kind of stuff. Because they have hit below the belt in a way that every mother and father, every woman, every man, everyone will want to make them pay a price for. And it has nothing to do with them selling beer, because that is an awful thing, but we can understand people make mistakes and do stupid stuff. But what we can't forgive is making that family see on live TV and on the internet pictures of their dead daughter and their tactics that they have used. It's unforgivable, and they will pay a price for it. I'm calling it. They're going to have a huge verdict, and it will not be pretty.
Man,
I hope so.
Yeah, me too.
What about kind of shifting to Gloria Satterfield? Do we know anything new about this?
No, there's nothing really new going on with that. We just keep finding more victims, essentially, of of civil cases against.
Did they ever?
Alex.
Because I know they dug her body back up. Did we ever get any details of anything they found from that? No.
No.
Not yet.
I guess we won't. It's all part of the big evidence. It's a big
Yeah.
secret, right?
We just got to wait on Harpoolian's
We'll wait for a motion to compel.
Yeah.
Maybe he'll compel that. I don't know
Maybe we'll put
what
some
it has to
pictures
do
in it.
with the murders, but at this point, I think it's just filing more motions, getting more stuff out there,
Yeah.
more stuff to read.
This is a lot, though. I mean, it's a lot that's happened since our last update. Did we get through all of the notes, Amy? Is there more? What did we miss? She has done her research over here.
I mean, I thought, when I was reading the last article about Alex Murdaugh has 90 pending charges, y'all.
Wow.
90. That's insanity, right?
That's
crazy.
unheard of. Yeah.
That's crazy.
And this ranges from murder to
Insurance fraud.
I mean,
Wire fraud.
Conspiracy. Which is why I understand, as much as I say, the motions are a press release, it's got to be his defense attorney has got to be difficult. That is a lot of charges and a lot of evidence, and I just don't know how would I attack that. Is just like, it's
And we've done some crazy stuff.
overwhelming. Yeah, to be able to, because you don't want to say, Alec hired someone to kill them. He didn't do it, because then you're admitting to hiring someone to do it, right? Because I'm thinking about all the scenarios. Alec had nothing to do with it, but at this point, they don't really have evidence of anybody else, and so I think the prosecutors, they're going to prosecute out for it, regardless of the evidence that they have. But how, as a defense attorney, do you attack that? And it's interesting to watch them
Deflect.
do it, and they've got to have a lot going on. And as much as sometimes I don't love their strategy, I'm like, well, I mean,
what are you gonna do? Yeah.
I have no idea what I would do. So
Yeah.
y'all do your defending, because that's a mess.
Yeah. If I had to defend Alec Murdaugh, I would not defend any of the property crimes.
Yeah.
Fall on that sword and only concentrate on the murder. Because this is the deal. We know that Alec Murdaugh is never going to see the light of day no matter what, right?
Yeah.
And they're not going after the death penalty. So, I mean, if he went and pled guilty right now, he would get the same sentence, essentially. He will not see the light of day outside of a prison. So this is the part that makes me think he almost didn't kill him, because the only thing I couldn't live with, knowing I was never going to see the light of day no matter what, I was going to prison for the rest of my life and I was going to take my last breath there, is the thought that the world would think I killed my wife and my son.
Mm-hmm.
And they are defending that to the end. They've fallen on the sword and admitted all the theft. But what they haven't admitted is the murder. And I couldn't live.
So to
if
you,
I
that
didn't-
means maybe he didn't.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Because I guess if you did it, you would be like, oh, well, I'm here anyway.
Yeah, I'm already
I
gonna
did it.
go
Get
to
life
jail.
no matter what. Let's just save everybody a lot of time and money. And
Yeah.
But also, I don't want him to.
That's
We
interesting.
speculate a lot about what he's done, but I don't want him to, plead guilty to things he didn't do, because I really do think, it is a big
It
question
matters.
mark about what happened to Maggie and Paul, and that's what makes me so upset when I think that they're going to try to pin it on Cousin Eddie or even Alec. Like, I want to know what actually happened.
Right.
yeah,
So
the truth matters.
they shouldn't charge him or have a trial unless they know they can prove who did it, and they shouldn't stop looking for weapons or things like that, because I think, as much as Paul caused all that damage, and you can say whatever you want about the Murdaughs, like, I want to know what happened. I think they deserve that justice.
When life gets ugly, justice is lovely. The love